I love this time of draft season where it's getting so close, it's palpable, a lot of BS flying around, but sometimes BS is actually legit. Like sometimes there's some mushrooms in that BS, man. And Chad Graff of The Athletic, great beat writer for the Vikings, he put out a piece titled "What We're Hearing About the Minnesota Vikings on the Eve of the 2022 NFL Draft." And there's a lot of tidbits in there, and there's one that really sticks out about the Vikings potentially trading up. I mean, there's a lot of stuff about Vikings being on Derek Stingley Jr., but the Vikings potentially trading up. And this summary is from our friends over at Vikings Wire. There's a lot of talks around about the Vikings, blah, 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 but there's still a real possibility that they'll go in another direction if the right players fall on the board. Trading up, talk about. According to The Athletic's Chad Graff, the Vikings are preparing for a possible trade-up scenario for defensive end Travon Walker or cornerback Sauce Gardner if they are available later than expected. Graff particularly keys in on the number 8 spot, where the Vikings wouldn't have to part ways with a second-round draft pick along with their first in the haul if it would take to move up. The hope is that they'd be able to get away with exchanging a third-round draft pick by that point instead. So now this is sort of initially you're like, yeah, moving up for Sauce, moving up for Travon Walker. Walker could be the number 1 overall pick for the Jaguars. Actually, I think he's the betting favorite at this point. But if somehow, some way, Hutchinson goes, Thibodeau goes, there's a run on offensive tackles, run even on the cornerbacks, and then, yeah, I mean, if Travon Walker is there at 8 with the Falcons and the Falcons want to move down and do some business, we could certainly accommodate that. And as they were talking about, giving up the number 77 pick to move up 4 spots as opposed to packaging number 46, it's a little bit more palatable to do that. And there is a lot of scuttlebutt that teams like the Falcons, like the Panthers, like the Seahawks are looking to move down. But first off, Travon Walker has to get to number 8, which I think is extremely unlikely. I think that he is probably going to be the number 1 overall pick. If he doesn't go 1, I think that he will be top 3 at a minimum, but somehow, some way, if the physical freak from Georgia, who a lot of people have called a Danielle Hunter clone, falls to 8, I mean, I would feel fine giving up 12 and 77 to go get him. And then you got Sauce Gardner, who, I mean, Sauce is just that absolute alpha. Stingley is fantastic as well, don't get me wrong, but I think there's a lot fewer question marks with Sauce Gardner. He's been a press man corner his entire career at Cincinnati. He didn't shy away when the competition got tough. He locked down the Alabama wide receivers to a large degree. So, yeah, I'm fully in on Sauce Gardner. And I guess there is like a possibility where maybe a team favors Stingley. They want to bet on that 2019 potential, and maybe he goes early, and then Sauce potentially takes a slide as teams get in on some offensive tackles or edge rushers or even quarterbacks. And somehow, if Sauce gets to 8, I mean, the Falcons would be stupid not to take him at 8 and just pair him up with A.J. Terrell, and you have 2 fantastic young cornerbacks. But if they want to do some business and the Vikings want to jump the Seahawks, who obviously would take Sauce Gardner, I would be okay with that. I would be okay with that, packaging up 12.77. Hell, take one of the 6th-round picks. Don't care. Go up and getting your guys. But I actually do think that it's more likely that the trade-up spot would be for Stingley because I think that Sauce is probably going to be a top 3 pick. And Stingley, I mean, some teams may still question the medicals. Some teams may still question his tape over the last 2 years. So maybe he could potentially fall. And if he does get to 8, I would certainly snatch him up. I would, again, Stingley, Sauce, Travon Walker, either one. I would give up 12.77 and a 6. Multiple 6. 666. Don't care. Take them all, man. And you could have it all. My empire of 6s. But yeah, it's exciting times. It'll finally all consummate tomorrow. Like what will be true, what won't be true. And also, it's fun to play with these scenarios because, I mean, Kwesi and all the GMs around the league, if they're not asking about every single pick, having contingency plans, they're not doing their job. So just imagine how history would change if one player was picked instead of the other, and if the board broke a certain way, the daisy chain of events, what would happen of potential trades that were already in the back pocket. I mean, Kwesi probably has a dozen potential trades that are penciled in. Like, hey, if this, then this. If XYZ happens, and then ABC will happen. So it's really fascinating. Fascinating. That's why you love the NFL draft. You love the drama, etc. So we'll see what happens on Thursday evening. But your thoughts are thoughts. The Athletic, Vikings eyeing up trading up for Sauce Gardner or Travon Walker, but only if they fall to 8. Because, I mean, obviously, Two guys that could potentially go top 3 is like, hey, if they fall to 8, we're in. Great. Anyways, let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Most support the work. Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.